thanks for joining us. Ready to see Virginia and the amazing things to enjoy in the Commonwealth? I'm your host, Jessica Noll. Hit the food trail with 5 amazing stops in the best part of Virginia. Working the day through breakfast, lunch, libations, and dinner in the Petersburg area. And feeling the need for speed? We'll start your next adventure with a bang. Or take to the track with a hot lap. Or cruise into the slow lane. All that and more at the Virginia International Raceway just outside Danville. Plus, the father of the Constitution, James Madison's estate Montpelier, is exquisite and generating plenty of excitement with a brand new exhibit encouraging plenty of conversation. See Virginia starts now. Ready to spend a great day in the best part of Virginia with Martha Burton. It's good to see you.
Oh, it's great to have you in Old Town Petersburg. We are going to spend the day in history, arts and culture, the rivers, but we're really focusing on the food.
There is so much to see in this best part of Virginia. We're starting our morning with breakfast.
Yes.
A sweet one.
A perfect one at Buttermilk Bake Shop in Old Town Petersburg.
Opened in 2014, a great new neighbor.
Yes.
And really just hopping.
Lots of people live in the buildings around us, and it's just such a fun place.
Of course, we're starting our day here, but we've seen all sorts of offerings. I got to get hands-on filling my donut, which was pretty cool.
Cookies, cupcakes, special occasion cakes, you can order them, everything.
Well, I love a good food tour, and this is a great place to start. So I think we ought to dig in, and the fun's not over, because it's going all day.
You're right.
Well, here we are. The tour continues. Martha Burton showing us the best part of Virginia.
Oh, yes, and look at this, the best part of Virginia in the summer. We are at the boathouse at historic City Point in Hopewell, and here we are in this sleek, modern, gorgeous boathouse.
The boathouse at City Point. Well, cocktails covered. Now, I think it's on to appetizers.
I'm with you.
Well, I tell you, this looks absolutely perfect, and really, Martha, so does this view. This is fantastic.
Is this not absolutely the most beautiful view you have ever seen?
What a great addition to the Hopewell area.
Oh, amazing, amazing.
A great spot for lunch, a great spot for dinner, and of course, for these delicious oysters.
Absolutely.
Well, this looks spectacular.
It's wonderful, and of course they specialize in the freshest of seafood.
A lobster roll, you have seafood, shrimp, crab cake. I tell you what, this looks fantastic. Here at the boathouse at City Point. Well, here we are exploring more of the best part of Virginia, and now Ashton Creek Vineyard. Let's head inside.
Let's do. We're at Ashton Creek Vineyard. It's a quiet spot. We're overlooking the vineyard. There is delicious wine, this gorgeous food, music every first and third Friday night, games on Wednesday night, trivia. It's just a wonderful place for anybody to come and just chill.
They really have it all. If wine is not your first go-to, there are plenty of brewery options too.
Oh yes, we're on our way to Steam Bell Beer Works, which is in Midlothian, western Chesterfield County, and family-owned business growing in popularity. And they too are a wonderful setting, music on Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon.
What a nice way to spend a day. Now we're at the Halfway House in Chesterfield County.
We are, and this is a very special place, very special.
A lot of history here, a lot of history to share.
It's been here since 1760. Lafayette has dined here, Thomas Jefferson has dined here, and this is the perfect place for a special occasion, an anniversary, a date night, the fireplace. It's wonderful.
So history to celebrate, but we're here for the food. Look at this magic. They are well known for your crab cakes.
Absolutely, yes. You want to have crab cakes, but also look at that gorgeous halibut.
This is going to be fantastic, and the cinnamon rolls are key.
Absolutely, don't miss the cinnamon rolls.
So a full day of magic here in Petersburg area. We started with breakfast, had lunch, we had spirits in the afternoon, and now here we are with dinner at the Halfway House. So much to do, so much to celebrate, and so much to savor. Martha, thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's eat.
Now it's your turn. Dig in. Visit WTVR.com/CVA and plan your food trail tour in the best part of Virginia. Up next, traveling to Orange, Virginia to James Madison's Montpelier.
James Madison, fourth president of the United States. No one knows who he is for the most part. Have no idea he was the father of the Constitution.
Everyone's proud of the Constitution. Everyone's proud of America's position in the world as the leader of freedom and the defender of rights. And that comes back in many ways to James Madison in the upstairs library, punching out the elements of the Virginia Plan that create a structure of government that provides for rule of law, that connects human rights and natural rights to property rights, all these things that make America great and that make wave after wave of people who come here be able to start a life anew.
I would argue that this is one of the most important and historically significant rooms anywhere in this country. This is the room that in the spring of 1786, Madison sets out to solve a problem, and that problem was a failing system of government here in this very new country.
This home is what the nation needs to know about so they can understand his role in the founding of this country.
Montpelier was sold in 1844, and then the boyhood and retirement era home of President James Madison in Orange, Virginia, was later covered in pink stucco for years.
Montpelier has a great story. The property came to the National Trust for Historic Preservation around 1984, but for a long time it languished a little bit because, yes, it's Madison's home, but the DuPonts had owned it since 1901, and they started off with the 22-room Madison home, but it wasn't big enough, and they added 33 rooms. We weren't, any of us, completely clear that that Madison home still existed in any way that was intact.
They found out that an overwhelming majority, 90 or more % of Madison's original 18th and 19th century home was still buried in here. And so they embarked on a major restoration project in about 2004. The actual physical structure was restored by 2008. And at that point, we had a restored building with empty rooms. And so the work of trying to track down and acquire Madison pieces that had left the home, was undertaken. Each room that we've interpreted and furnished through countless hours of curatorial research, I think really kind of opens visitors' eyes to the life of Madison when he was here.
The entire estate has undergone a transformation from the ground up.
We've got an area that's been untouched since the 1840s, and so you go down 2 or 3 inches in the ground below the topsoil, and you're at that early 19th century surface, the period we're trying to restore the property back to. And so we can find the foundations of buildings, the chimney bases, the footers for buildings, in addition to the scatters of artifacts.
We really had a chance to do something other cultural institutions, I think, have come to a little bit slower or have been focused on other things, and that is telling about the other people who made Montpelier possible, and that's the 300 people who are part of the enslaved community.
Montpelier Foundation opened a new exhibit this summer, The Mere Distinction of Color.
And bringing the stories to light of more than just the labor, but to humanize many of the people who lived here, worked here, helped build this empire of America, and also this house and what we've sort of built on in the last 200 years is an incredible experience.
Yes, Madison was an incredible person. Yes, the framers created the greatest structure for a democracy that changed the course of human history. But the realities of slavery, both economically and legally and politically, weren't sort of an artifact of the past. They were actually built into our founding story.
What we don't talk a lot about are things like this, that they were, families, wives and husbands, brothers and sisters. They formed communities, they went to church, they built things and bought things and, had money and an understanding of the world. Many of them could read and write. So I think bringing that to light, offering names to a lot of these people, the room in there with the names of the enslaved in Montpelier, offering agency to the individual.
Some people will say to me, oh, this is really good, but you know, slavery, that was really 200 years ago. Why do we still need to spend so much time talking about it? Or this exhibition can make me uncomfortable. Or, oh, I finally get it. I understand now kind of the feelings people had, the emotion behind that. Or people who are from the descendant community, this is so wonderful. I finally see myself in the American story.
So many amazing stories from Montpelier, from recapturing this nationally historic home to a more diverse presentation of the national story.
We want everyone who comes up that driveway to come here and encounter a story that they can relate to, that connects them to their democratic DNA in this country, to their rights and their freedoms.
Visit Montpelier. Free admission for children continues through September 1st. To learn more, visit WTVR.com/CVA. Up next, buckle your seatbelts for a getaway adventure as See Virginia goes off track at Virginia International Raceway. First opened for business in 1957, Virginia International Raceway has hosted racing legends from the start. Amateur and professional racer and actor Paul Newman famously declared, "If there's a heaven on earth, it's VIR." Today, VIR is redefined as America's first motorsport resort. A getaway for you and even the whole family in Alton, Virginia, between Danville and South Boston. Connie Nyholm, CEO and track owner here at VIR in Alton, Virginia. You're well known for this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody comes to see you for this, but you have the chance to do some fun things here at VIR that aren't just hitting the track.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the coolest place and there's nothing like it. We've got everything for a spa to a 1,000-yard sniper range. So, and everything in between. We've got the karting, the skeet track, all kinds of corporate activities. So all kinds of really cool stuff you just can't do anywhere else.
Are folks surprised at how much VIR has to offer?
I think they have no idea. You know, we've got on our brochure our most famous quote from Paul Newman, "If there's a heaven on earth, it's VIR," and then they get here and they're like, wow, I get it. But until you get here and see how big it is, how friendly the staff is, how easy we can make it for you to do all kinds of experiences, you know, you just can't translate that in a brochure or a website.
And even fans of history can find that here too.
Absolutely. The track was built in '57 in the heyday of American road racing and operated till 1974. When my partner Harvey and I showed up in 1998, there were literally cows grazing on the front straight. And the hog pen for Hogman Turn was still there. So now we brought it up to modern day standards for international quality racing, all the safety, all the grounds, the lodging, the dining, all the activities. But we started with a little bitty strip of asphalt and no electricity. It's come a long way.
It's come a long way. Tell us about the tavern. This is world-class dining right here too.
Oh, it is. And Connie's Pub, 14 craft beers on draft. So it's a restored 1840s farmhouse. There was not much left when we started. We had 13-foot ceilings and a tin roof that thank goodness had held. So we dropped the ceiling a foot to put in HVAC, electric, replaced all the windows with period glass we got at salvage yards, and really restored this home back to the 1840s grandeur of a plantation home. And that's our tavern.
And when you come to VIR, you can stay at VIR.
We've got 3 different properties. We're here at the Villa now, and we have the lodge that overlooks turns 5 and 6. And then we have the pit lane suites overlooking, obviously, pit lane right there in the paddock. So you can roll right out of bed into your car.
Most folks love the speed. Some folks love to slow down. Let's talk spa.
That's not really my area of expertise because I like the speed. I have had a massage a couple times here therapeutically. Patrick Dempsey, Dr. McDreamy, every time he came here, always had a massage. He said Agnes is the best.
Connie, what does the family experience look like at VIR?
Well, the family experience could be, you know, any weekend or part of a corporate outing or a family gathering. We've got karting for the kids. If they're big enough to reach the pedals, they can go. As I said, we're totally fenced in, so it's safe. A lot of kids bring out their, their footballs and their frisbees and all that sort of thing. We have camping. We have a specific family camping area where it's quiet time a little earlier, and kind of just over there on Roller Coaster Hill where they've got this really cool view just falling out from under them. You know, there's quite a bit for everybody. If you're staying here on site in one of our lodging properties, we have a swimming pool for our lodge guests, and kids, of course, love that. Kids always like to swim.
And why is this such a special way to see VA?
Well, because it's just different. I mean, there are about 12 great big tracks in the country. This is one of them that has history, the top-level competitive events, but all the amenities and just our friendly VA Southern hospitality make it all the better.
The Michelin GT Challenge, IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, and Biscuitville Grand Prix beginning tomorrow, August 25th, continuing through the 28th. To learn more, visit WTVR.com/CVA. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this. Thanks again for watching See Virginia. To learn more about everything we've covered and to enjoy these adventures again, head online, WTVR.com/CVA. Until next time, I'm your host, Jessica Noll.